So if you're still looking for items from the annual rummage sale, it's gone. But we're going to give you an update at the beginning of the service after our opening song by Dalton. Way to go, Dalton. And feel free to join in if you want.
That's going to be a little hard to do. Sit back and relax. I'm going to tell you a story. It's a very old story. There was a time when the earth was new, shone by the light of the sun. All of creation it came to be, thanks to the word of the one. And as its final accomplishment, God gave humanity voice, self-awareness and consciousness. Man had been blessed with a choice. Blessed are we, we're the children of light, come to this place in this time. Blessed are we are spirits delight. Higher and higher we climb. Blessed are we are brothers and friends, playing this marvelous game. And in our hearts we know life never ends, singing this song in His name. Once in the garden humanity fled, forgetting the right of its birth. Through misperception and fear it was led, separateness robbing its worth. Now we are faced with a lie that was told, that we are lesser somehow. We must turn back to the truth of our soul. We're one with God here and now. Blessed are we, we're the children of light, come to this place in this time. Blessed are we are spirits of light, higher and higher we climb. Blessed are we are brothers and friends, playing this marvelous game. And in our hearts we know life never ends, singing this song in His name. No more shall we roam, mankind's journey is home. All souls taking flight, merging into life. Blessed are we, we're children of light, come to this place in this time. Blessed are we are spirits delight, higher and higher we climb. Blessed are we are brothers and friends, playing this marvelous game. And in our hearts we know life never ends, singing this song in His name. And in our hearts we know life never ends, singing this song in His name.
Thank you, Dalton. That was beautiful. So I'd like to invite the children up and we'll sing them out. And at the same time, we'll wave to the camera for everybody online. And then if you're comfortable, greet your neighbor, however you're comfortable in doing that. Just say hi, look them in the eye.
Let's try it again. As Arlo Guthrie said, you want to end war and stuff, you gotta sing loud. You are the first and I hold you in. You are a path. You are the first and you are the first and I hold you in. You are a path. You are the first and you are the first and I hold you in my. You are the first. Thank you for that.
Shirley gets to stay up here. But she's as young as they are in her mind and spirit. She's so deep and precious. And you'll be hearing from her pretty soon. She'll be doing the prayer this morning. So I'm Charlie Boring, one of the practitioners in service with Shirley and with Christy Carr. So we're available for prayer support after service, whether it's something you want to address that you're working on, or it's all good, and you just want to affirm that, going forward. And then I'd like to thank those in service today. We have the ushers and greeters. We have Joey in the sound booth. Lindy's taken the day off. And we have the kitchen cookies, and we have Dalton and Judy for music. So thank you for being here. So if you have a cell phone or a device that may go off, if you just want to silence it, we would appreciate that. And I'm going to start off with a few announcements, but first of all, I'm going to have Diana Wolstead come up to talk about our wonderful rummage sale.
Good morning, everybody. It's such a privilege to be the one that gets to stand up here and congratulate this community on a week's worth of amazing effort to pull off the rummage and collectible sale in the rain, which has never happened before. I can't even begin to name everyone who participated, from donating to helping price, putting out, creating the jewelry collectible area, helping yesterday to pack everything up, vacuum, box hangers. So I just would like for anyone who donated or participated during the week, from starting last Sunday when this whole congregation got up and these chairs were moved to the side in a wink of an eye, to yesterday at 3 o'clock when we locked the door. If you helped in any way, stand up. So I honor you, I appreciate you, this center appreciates all the effort, all the donations, and so the result, when we took the deposits and counted it all out, we subtracted the California sales tax that has to be paid. We are just $200 shy of $7,000.
I want to just share something real quick. Can you pull up a chair for Diana? Because I know she's exhausted. pull it right there. I want her to demonstrate something for you. I was telling some of the girls in the jewelry department, Kelly, and that team is amazing, Kathleen and Kelly and Kim. But the three Ks, awesome people. So they just filled this hall with spirit. Every time you walked in, they were giggling about something. So I was telling them I wanted to gift everybody something. I was so incredibly overjoyed. But I thought, I'm not going to do that because I keep seeing the things I give people in the rummage sale. So I'm tough. I could take it. However, I thought of a yoga posture that I thought I would teach all of you that helped, and I thought she could demonstrate it. So there's another thing that happens. Judy was an incredible cook for us and provided lunch and breakfast for us, and I watched everybody eat. I didn't eat anything because I never do with these kinds of things, but I felt so full. I felt like I had a stomachache watching other people eat, and then I was watching everybody work so hard and my back hurt. Something's not right about that. However, so there, I want you all, if you were in, you can all, she's going to be your demo. But so first you came in here, you put on your good face and you showed up, but inside there's a little bit of fatigue going on. So this is what it looks like. You start off sitting good. Now, that's it. Slide down. There you go. Throw your head back. Drop your arms. Kick your feet out. Open your mouth. That's it, right? That's it. I love this woman. She made it all happen. I mean, all I heard was, Diana. Okay, I don't see Diana. Charlie, Diana, Charlie, Hazel. It went on and on. Thank you, everyone.
It is pretty amazing that we got wonderful rain and exceeded our budget by $2,000 and plus. So it's just amazing. The community was wonderful coming in. And they always say, you guys put on the best rummage sale, and it's just amazing. So it's a great way to show off our community. So I'm going to go through a few quick announcements. So we have the SOAR, Spirit of Adventure Renewed. It's going to be May 13th. It's coming Saturday. They're going to tour Shasta Abbey and Mount Shasta, picnic in the city park, and then they're going to go to the museum and the fish hatchery. Man, what a day. So if you're interested in that, it's good to RSVP because you need to know how many people are going to go to the Abbey. And you can do that with Linda in the back. Then we have, actually, I'm going to turn over. We have the book club coming up, actually tomorrow, with Robin Backstrom, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. It's a book for this month. So it's May 8th from 2 to 4, and it's here in the social hall. Sacred Sisters and the men's group are both happening tomorrow night here at the center with Roy, and then also Sue. And maybe they'll draw straws who's going to do which one, but I'm trying to be funny. Anyway, the Tao of Watercolor, with creating the beauty of flowers and watercolor with Sherry on Wyndham. So that's Wednesday, May 10th, and there is a minimum of 4, a maximum of 10. So it'd be important to take a look at the information in the back. And by the way, you have it all in your handout as well today, so you can check that out. And you can sign up online. We have that feature. I just want everyone to know that. It's really cool that you can do that. And then we have the Caregiver Support Group with Dr. Mary on Thursday, May 11th from 10 to noon. It's here in the social hall. And then this is dear to my heart. It's our spiritual music jam this Friday. And, it's interesting. I go to this place where pie meets bread, and there's a really neat guy there. And he keeps telling me, so when's that music jam? And he's never been to our center, but he's heard about it. And so I saw him yesterday. He goes, I'm going to be there. And so it's just we have a lot of people show up from the community for this music jam. So it's Friday night at 7 p.m., and that's led by Michael Harris, Steve Smith, and Margot Franchois. So again, 7 to 8:30, it's really fun. You can bring any instrument that you want, including your voice. And then the more the better, absolutely. Punctuate that. Then we have Essence of Science of Mind with Dr. Mary, Sunday, May 14th. That's after the service. And then, Sue, I think you've got a few here, including Christy's class.
I just wanted to invite the next project we have going, after you have a night's rest, is the plant and bulb sale. And that is, so throughout the week, if you've been cultivating little plants and you have a surplus, we would love to have them donated to us. We'll have a table set up outside, and you can all kind of find something that you might want to plant in your own yard. So we're looking for bulbs and plants, and that will start on Mother's Day next Sunday. But we're accepting donations all through the week. And then I also gathered up a lot of shoes. They've been donated from a lot of you and from the some of the thrift stores. So we have an abundance of shoes, and there's a Project Homeless Connect at Reading Civic on May 15th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., May 15th. So if you're available to help with that, I don't have a whole lot of other information just yet, but it's coming up just around the corner. I could really use some help setting up the tables and setting out the shoes, and somebody to be there in the afternoon until 3, because I watch my grandson at that time. So May 15th, that's why I wanted to highlight that for you. And then finally, Christy Carr is going to be starting a class Thursday from 3 to 5 p.m. And today, if you register, it's only $50. It's a 5-week certificated class, Spiritual Principles and Practices. You can talk to her about that because she's here. And I think that's a wrap.
So I'd like to invite Lori Barnes up for a reading, and then I'll invite the bell, and we have birthdays. Only once a month do I need to remember this. So if you have a birthday in May, if you'd like to stand up, we'll sing happy birthday to you. And if you have a birthday and you're shy, just raise your hand. Okay. Lori.
This is a reading that was received from Reverend Scott called Spiritual Passages. The National Day of Prayer is an annual observance held on the first Thursday of May, inviting people to pray for the nation. It was created in 1952 by a joint resolution of Congress and signed into law by President Harry Truman. It is our intention today to take a moment to share in this consciousness, though several days later. God doesn't know time. Whatsoever things you desire, when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you shall receive them. Jesus. We are one. Everything in the universe is within you. Everything that you want, you already are. Rumi. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. The Buddha. Affirmative prayer. Today, praying for our nation, I remember our oneness with the divine, with each other, and with all of life. I affirm that this truth of wholeness is revealed in our nation as peace, harmony, joy, justice, and abundance. In gratitude, we are poised to receive guidance and blessings. Thank you, God, forever, and so it is. And now, a bit of humor. A metaphysician, a mystic, and a pragmatist were sitting in a room when the lights went out. The metaphysician said, "Let us take this opportunity to consider the symbolic nature of light and dark." The mystic said, "Yes, but let us also take this opportunity to contemplate the difference between light and dark." Meanwhile, the pragmatist went to the basement, found the fuse box, and reset the breaker.
As we come together this morning, we remember that there is only one, a divine energy shared by all, bringing love, peace, and wisdom. Each of us reflecting the energy in his own unique, creative way. Every one of us is a source of love, brought forth from within, finding expression in multiple ways, spreading into ever-widening circles and expanding from each heart to include those of all others. Our wisdom continues to grow from experiences of all kinds, out in the world and within. We focus on that higher self, listening for the still, small voice. We are all spiritual beings living a God-centered life. We share our love and wisdom with one another. We're grateful for friends, family, and this beautiful place to come together for worship. And we say thank you and release this word to the law. And together we say, and so it is.
That was pretty, Judy. Thank you. Thank you. It was her birthday this month, too. So, way to go, Shirley. So, let's see if I can make sense. Yeah, channeling. Because we have a new topic this month, and I had to kind of be amused with it all, because last month when I got through with vulnerability, I thought, whew, because every time you talk about something, you experience it, right? So I thought, I'm glad I'm done with that month. This month it's about the shadow. Of course. So we go deeper. And today I'm just skimming the surface of this deep topic, because it's about the whole monthly theme is light within the shadows. But today we're just looking at the inner and outer spectrum. And I found, as I researched all of this, quite a wonderful opportunity to set the stage for shadow work. I don't know about you, but for me, that has always been a little bit of a vague understanding for me. I've done lots of shadow work without realizing it, But the shadow is something every time you turn around to find it, it's gone, right? Or it's, it just keeps staying behind you. So that's our first witness of what this is. But Emerson says, we see the world piece by piece as the sun, the moon, the animal, the tree, but the whole of which these are, the shining parts, is the soul. From within or from behind, a light shines through us upon things and makes us aware that we are nothing, but the light is all. So I love the beauty of this when we really slow down into the stillness and the silence of any time of the day and realize that we are this body of light embodying the divine. So the inner and outer spectrum is all from one light. And as we explore that this month, light is the evidence of the divine. And remind ourselves there's a light within the shadow as well. So let us not run from the shadow anymore, fear it in any way, turn from it anymore, but to allow ourselves to realize it is all good. And somehow it's our human nature, though, to separate this all out. We just seem to do that automatically. We've been invited all year to live out loud and to take a deep dive. That's why all these messages are about the inner self, the inner work. And I've talked to sometimes some people from other faith paths, and they'll say, well, what do you do at your center? What do you teach? I said, a lot of soul searching, a lot of work on the self. Oh. I said, well, don't you? No. I thought, oh, I'm so used to it. I'm so used to it that I'm just thinking everybody's doing this. This is a good thing. So I found that interesting. So we look at the inner self and we have the courage and the sense of love of self to face what we discover. And I was thinking about what it's like for scuba divers. I'm not a scuba diver, but I've certainly watched my daughter do it and some other people. And they dive into the water, and at first they're just on that kind of that surface area floating, and the light is beaming down upon them, and they're seeing what's there. It's the darkness is starting to come upon them from the water shifting. So there's lots of things that are showing up for them in that place. And they find comfort in looking at all these distractions before they've gone any deeper. And then there's after they're marveled at all of that, they start to go deeper, right? That outer light begins to dim, and pretty soon they're in sort of the deeper dark, but not that blackout dark yet. And they can still, like if they give themselves some time, they can begin to make form and sense of whatever they see. That's what we do when we dive into consciousness. We start to see something. Something's familiar. Something's awakening us, and we're shedding some light on it, and our eyes are adjusting to the soul light that is penetrating whatever is. Then we go deeper, and this is where the scuba diver is deep into the darkest of waters, right? Where they have to usually turn on a little headlamp, as if I know. I'm terrified of that, the whole idea. I'm palpating up here thinking about going down that deep. But that's when they start to really look behind the corners of everything, right? They're looking, there's caves and there's rocks and there's coral and there's spooky things. But they're starting to just boldly go deep and see what they discover into the shadows. And everything unknown becomes known on one certain level. So every time we shine a light on anything that we've held in the dark, know that that light is the divine. It's not a manifested light. It just is the light. So here we go as we soul search inner self, reminding ourselves the pure light within. Think about it, have you had those moments where your eyes are closed and something bright quickens through you. Something bright, and you're thinking, were my eyes open? No, my eyes are closed. Sometimes, it doesn't happen to me a lot, but sometimes in meditation that the light is so bright and I squeeze my eyes tighter. This light is so bright, it's like staring at the sun. How you get those sunspots inside your head. It's just so amazing and brilliant and pure. That's the soul light, is how I evidence it. So we understand through the study of metaphysics that there is only one mind. There is only one mind, one pure intelligence. And this is forever flowing through our universe. And we've also come to believe that we are each that individual expression of divine wisdom. It makes itself known through our personal consciousness. The beautiful expression of consciousness within each one of us is all subject to our thinking mind. So we think, we have thought, we have experiences and manifestations from those thoughts, and then we think about the experience, and we think and we think and we think, and thoughts are born again. We process some, and others, they're too difficult in their nature, so we want to deny them, that we even ever thought of it in the first place. They become dormant, and they get stored and repressed deep, deep inside of us into the darker places, burrowing into our subconscious, unconscious realm, far away from the light of awareness. But it's all one mind. We call it the conscious and subconscious mind of our being. But somehow, along the way, since we were born, we start drawing these imaginary lines. I've often thought about that, but then when I saw Ken Wilber's description of this in his book, No Boundary, I hope this just sets you into a whole different seat of consciousness when you hear what he's saying. The particular thing about a boundary is that however complex and rarefied it might be, it actually marks off nothing but an inside versus an outside. For example, we can draw the simplest form of a boundary line as a circle, and see that it discloses an inside versus an outside. But notice that the opposite of inside versus outside did not exist in themselves until we drew the boundary of the circle. That symbol would not be on the wall until it was created as a form. And then we divide wall from creative symbol. So it's the boundary line itself which creates the pair of opposites. Thus, we can start to see the reason we live in a world of opposite is precisely because life as we know it is a process of drawing boundaries. You know, for some reason that just settles my unrest in my heart when I'm going through a difficult challenge. Understanding that light and dark has always coexisted together. But somehow, somewhere along the way, and perhaps it's cartoons, I don't know, but we started to relate light as good and darkness as bad or evil. And then we understand that they each have their own traits, their own special quality, like all things of God's creation. But they complement each other. They don't repel each other, they complement. So according way back to Aristotle, darkness and lightness were the source of all color. And just think about that for a moment. That idea, I think recently when we had those incredible rainbows from the storm, incredible rainbows, I felt so blessed, in awe. I almost went off the road when I saw the total rainbow and each pristine outline of each color. I've never seen such a magnificent rainbow, and it was over our city. And I just felt this holy moment, this holy encounter with all the prism of light. And it came out of nowhere. It came, they say, from when the light hits the clouds and blow the prisms, and it confuses me, but there it is. And then I think, you know what? If I had the eyes to see, there'd be rainbows coming out of all your heads. And I would not be able to even speak. I'd be dumbfounded up here. But that's the light that's ever flowing through. And the yin-yang symbol, think about how that weaves together in perfection. It comes together, so it's a complete wholeness in itself. It's complementing one another. The yin-yang from Confucius, there he says this: yin-yang, male, female, strong, weak, rigid, tender, heaven, earth, light and darkness, thunder and lightning, cold and warmth, good and evil. The interplay of opposite principles constitutes the universe. That's all it is. It's our universe. So sometimes we long to solve this mystery of dark and light as we embrace something about them, and then we realize there's a power here, that when we bring these things together, we shed a deeper understanding on the entire spectrum of light through us. Think about how you process life. Outwardly, we might have us be silent, quiet, and have maybe a smile on our face. But inwardly, our thoughts and emotions are interacting all the time. There's something going on inside here, all the time. And the internal dynamics are beginning to shape the experience that we're about to have in life. All of this energy is ultimately longing to be expressed, the outer and the inner spectrums of light interacting to create our evolution and our spiritual growth. And then, when in alignment, are living our authentic self, living our vulnerable self, we find harmony and we start to experience it as our reality. But when there's disharmony, the inner and the outer partnership suddenly gets distorted. So we take a closer look. You take a closer look to how you're presenting yourself to the world. We can try to shape it or organize ourselves to reflect the best in us. We can do that. But if we are continually doing that at the expense of our true feelings, is that right? Is that right? We're becoming phony. We're becoming just a bunch of phonies out there until we align all that we're thinking and feeling inwardly, loving the self so deeply and forgiving all aspects of our unskillful ways at times, and not turning our back on them, but saying, that's a part of me. That's just a part of me, and I will work on it. So think about the times that we are trying to fix our outer image by, putting on clothes, fixing our hair up, putting on makeup for women, all of these ideas of creating an image, hanging with people that support that image. And then we get distracted by the image that we've created outwardly in the world at the expense. We lost touch. We've lost touch with who that really is deep inside. And there's an inner cry. There's an inner disturbance, an inner call that's saying, come home to me. Come home. Bring me into your life, that deep place of soul-heart connection. And we can feel lost at times because life gets so incredibly demanding that we have to just keep on going. We have to keep on going, even though we're feeling like we're living in some form of a trap. And that's what we call stress. And we can crash into the demands when that scale is tipped just so far. We know our yearning is to be different because there's no match to living outside and neglecting the inside. It cannot happen. The inner self, though, can't be seen. It's all the feelings, the intuitions, the values, the beliefs, the thoughts, the emotions, the fears, the daydreams, the desires, the intentions, the spirituality. All of that is your inner self that I'm talking about. It's all laced in your personality. Being self-aware, we get this, and we can manage and we can cope. It is know thyself. Watch for the signs, though, when you're not coping. Listen to the body. Listen to it. It is knocking at your heart's door to say, listen to me. You know, like I said yesterday when I was watching everybody lift things, and then I went, doing all these shoes for souls up here, rubber banding them, and they went, ow. And then, can I help you? Oh, no, I got this. Inside, and I'm thinking, yeah, can you take over? Because I got to go sit down for a minute. I haven't hardly done anything, so I'm embarrassed that I have to go sit down. But it's those moments that we just bypass so quickly to try to fit back into the groove of what's going on around us. Now, you can feel these moments when you're not coping. It can feel that you wake up one day and for some reason you're just dull, depressed, conflicted, and there's no purpose for it. There's no reason for it. You just woke up. And you might even be finding yourself moody and snappy and distant. Something short fuses you, and you feel the temper right there at the edge. Here, you add loving awareness. You sense it, but you bathe yourself in loving awareness. You pause and say, what is in me now? And you get centered deeply into the truth of who you are, because in the center of any storm is the calm, right? It's the calm. It's the center. In the center of this center, you come to get centered and calm. And in that place is your resilience. So problems will show up. Yes, they will. When we're in conflict with the outer and the inner self, that's what's going on. Think of the imbalances and craziness of thinking one thing, but doing another. Sometimes when I come home and I download to Charlie about something that I'm in a snit about, he'll listen to me, and then sometimes the inner dialogue slips out. And he'll say, you actually said that? Oh, God, no. I didn't say that. I felt it, but I didn't say it. And then I go on, and he goes, you actually said that? No, oh, God, no, I didn't say that either. And I was just like, really? I presented in the whole time as if I was, handling it well. Right? You see the difference there? Well, I think I'm really grateful for Charlie because I can bounce this shadow stuff off of him until it's bathed in light again. It's just these temporary moments. So, my heart usually makes me be nice. Thank goodness for the sweet heart that flows through me, where the divine keeps saying, be nice here, be nice, be nice. These are your friends. So I realize it's just something in me that I need to tweak. But the more charged any of these inner conflicts are, the wider that gap is from the inner self feeling it is so darn right, it's so right, and the outer self is feeling, so is it. It feels, everything is conflicted on the rightness of what's going on. And there's the stress from body, mind, and spirit. What do? It's called loving awareness. I want to make sure you're listening. Loving awareness. And you know what? Nothing's wrong when we get those moments of a snit. Nothing's wrong with you. You're not a horrible person. I'm not a horrible person when I do it. It just happens. And I need to go to my spiritual toolkit. I need to renew my spiritual energy. I'm just drained. So we stop continuing to just keep on doing And we remember, I must be here, no longer feeling depleted and struggling. I'm on empty, and I see that I haven't spent one down moment to address any of this. And that's why I'm out of balance. That's when I'm out of integrity with the sweet self. Now, according to Arlen Kunik, who's wrote a book, Therapy and Focus, one way to identify there's a conflict, I don't know why we need to outline it like this, but I thought I should share it with you in case you're not following what I'm saying, between the inner and outer selves, to look at the gaps between the true values and the outer actions. True values, outer action. Take a moment and list your core values. You might not have thought of those for a long time. The students in the practitioner class, we point to it on a regular basis. Is that a core value of yours? What's your core value? What really do you stand for? And it can be the value of honesty, integrity, friendship, being in service. Core values, what are yours? Can you name them? Can you feel them? And then make a list of the activities that you do each day. Are they in alignment with your values? You might think about how you say, I value friendship, but you never call anybody. Simple as that. It's like, oh, there's one. There's one. Look for the values that you've taken little action in, and start to apply yourself to be that self-aware and identify the problems. Just get still and quiet. Sit in the meditation to connect with the inner self and the outer self. That mindful awareness is a gentle practice to invite you to just simply slow down and listen to the truth. Your inner self is calling you home. One of the most beautiful expressions, all you need to say when you sit down is be still and know. Be still and know, and breathe that. Be still and know. And then probe the deep questions. Don't be afraid of them. Listen without any resistance on your part. Don't go numb it. Don't go get a big gallon of wine and then say, I'm going to do what Sue said. I'm going to sit down and go deep. It really takes you that awareness where you are your true self, entering the self. Let it come out, the shadows. Let them not stifle any, let them have a voice as they emerge in an understanding for you. And you're going to start noticing, I have a choice here. I have a choice to live in harmony. Brene Brown, owning your story can be hard, not nearly as difficult as spending our years running from it. Embracing our vulnerabilities, risky, but not nearly as dangerous as giving up on love, belonging, and joy. The experience that make us the most vulnerable. Only when we're brave enough to explore darkness will we discover the infinite power of our light. It's all a dance. It's all a beautiful and amazing dance between visible and invisible planes. Ernest Holmes is reminding us that the Spirit of God is dwelling within each one of us with a power and a might. The outer person is reflecting the Spirit insofar as the intellect allows it to come forth into expression. So brilliant. So spiritual practices, bringing our unconscious and subconscious to the surface so we can see what is in there. That's the space where healing happens. That's the place where we can no longer risk sabotaging our good. We can fully shift our thoughts without knowing. We cannot fully shift our thoughts without really knowing what's in there and what's buried. So we have to calm into our mind and find that we become aware of any negative subconscious thoughts. And you don't have to deal with all of them at once. If they come flooding in, hey, Sue's home. Whooshoo. And down a bunch of stuff downloads. No. What's on your heart in that moment? What do you really want to spend the time with? But sometimes we're, even when we're aware of those inner negative thoughts, we try to keep them a secret. even to ourselves. Maybe it's too ugly to even think that I even had that thought. And if we get embarrassed, and then we start to feel a sense of shame. But be reassured. Be reassured in knowing spiritually, all you're touching is loving presence. It's forever ushering you to the light, offering you a possibility to integrate into the oneness. Ernest Holmes says, through that door of our own thought, we enter into the universal consciousness, into a complete realization of life and truth, of love and beauty. So this week, as you go through your week, kind of soul search anything going on inside of you that biases, judgments, any of that might be holding you back, that keeps you out of alignment. Learn to recognize that this is a safe practice, that you will always be safe. It's all looking for an opportunity to grow and to evolve. That's why we're here. Reverend Sunshine, who put together some thoughts on this topic, says, as we walk through the light and the shadows, we can savor the experience and grow from whatever it is offering. We can live a conscious field life with honesty, integrity, and to seek to match our intentions and our experiences. Similarly, we can appreciate the light in the dark, allow our inner shadow to carry the light, as well as the light to hold the darkness. It's all God. So this week, it's beautiful practice. First thing in the morning, first thing before you go to bed. Just get centered. Look at the quiet part of your nature. Start there. Breathe. And feel that, where am I out of balance today? What are my core values? When have I crossed my own lines? Howard Thurman said, I determined to live the outer life. I determined to live the outer life in the inner sanctuary. In the stillness of the quiet, if we listen, if we hear the whisper of the heart, giving strength to weakness, courage to hope, courage to fear, and hope to despair. Howard Thurman, so brilliant. So consider getting clear on what you desire for your one precious life this time around. The clearer you get, you allow it to settle into a vision of yourself. That vision will pull you. There was an author that wrote The Abundance Code, Judy Carnes, and she says, when we really weigh our vision down to gravity, really grounding ourselves into that, it has something to pull us as gravity will pull. So you think about this idea of yourself, this template of yourself, pulling the greater idea of who you are towards it. Getting rid of any limiting thoughts that are in your way. You thought them. Guess what? You can unthink them. When I saw that, I went, it took over 70 years to get that. That's a brilliant thought. So Rumi, as we close, little by little, you will turn into the whole sweet, amorous universe. Love will surely burst you wide open into an unfettered, booming new galaxy. So I'm going to have Judy play the music, and if you want to take on the new posture I taught you today, you can do that, but allow yourself to just think, what is my soul work this month? As I choose to look into darkness and invite an idea, as I just scratch the surface of living the shadow awareness. Connie Zweig wrote a powerful book, Romancing the Shadow. So this is your opportunity. Just begin to turn in that direction and discover. It asks us to stop blaming others. It asks us to take responsibility. It asks us to move slowly. It is asking us to deepen our awareness. It is asking us to hold the paradox. It is asking us to open our hearts, to sacrifice our ideals of perfection. Let it go. It is asking us to live in the mystery. Let that sink in. And I will be closing with Carl Jung. The acceptance of oneself is the essence of the moral problem and the epitome of a world outlook upon life. That I feed the hungry, that I forgive an insult, that I love my enemy in the name of Christ, all these undoubtedly great virtues. But I do unto the least of my brethren that I do unto Christ. But what if I should discover that least among them all, the poorest of the beggars, the most impudent of the offenders, the very enemy himself, that these are within me, and that I myself stand in the need of the alms of my own kindness? What if I myself am the enemy who must be loved? What then? By the grace of the divine, that divine love is the answer. What then? Love. And so it is. Thank you. Alton, thank you.
Now this is a song that you can sing along to, even if you don't know it, because it just repeats. So if you've never heard it before, just listen out, and within a few repetitions, I have every confidence that you'll be singing right along. I was walking down a lonely road, searching for a place to rest. There was no escaping from this ache inside my chest. So I got down on my knees and begged for mercy, and I raised up my hands. And I knew the answer, even as I asked the question of just how much this love demands. And it's everything, everything, nothing less than everything will do. And when everything is burned, I will take these ashes and offer them up to you. Shiva, Shiva, Mahadeva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Shiva, Mahadeva, Mahadeva. I was walking down a lonely road, searching for a place to rest. There was no escaping from this ache inside my chest. So I got down on my knees and begged for mercy, and I raised up my hands, and I knew the answer, even as I asked the question of just how much this love demands. And it's everything, everything, nothing less than everything will do. And when everything is burned, I will take these ashes and offer them up to you. Shiva, Shiva, Mahadeva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Shiva, Mahadeva, Mahadeva. Do your best to sing along now. I was walking down a lonely road, is how it starts. I was walking down a lonely, searching for a place to rest, searching for a place to rest. There was no escaping. There was no escaping from this ache inside my chest. So I got down on my knees. So I got down on my knees and begged for mercy. I raised up my hands and I knew the answer. And I knew the answer even as I asked the question of just how much this love demands. It's everything, oh, it's everything, everything, nothing less than everything will do when everything is burned. And when everything is burned, I will take these ashes and offer them up to you. Shiva, 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 Mahadeva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Shiva, Mahadeva, Mahadeva. Loop that around. Shiva, Shiva, Mahadeva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Shiva, Mahadeva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Shiva, Mahadeva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Shiva, Mahadeva, Mahadeva.
Thank you, Dalton. I'd like to invite the ushers up. I do want to mention that with the parking lots, the annual sale, we do have a really nice table in the social hall that we were going to take to storage for a later time, but if you're interested in an oak table, take a look. It's beautiful. So in preparation for the offering, I did this thinking of our community and our Sangha that's here, a place of gathering of those who come for support and growth. So as I prepare to give my offering today, my heart is filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here is for my spiritual well-being. I'm filled with gratitude, knowing life stays in balance, for as I give, I do receive.
so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
So please know with me that I am so blessed. Blessed for this community. So whether giving online, which is now an opportunity, or in service here, or throughout the week, or mailing in, we bless each and every donation, for it allows this center to grow and to prosper and be the beacon for this community, for the greater Reading community to grow and become the light in the center of this community. So with love and grace and thanking everyone for their service and their donations to this center, I give thanks. And together we say, and so it is. So we have a closing song by Dalton, and then Sue will come up with some final words. Dalton?
I would like everybody that's comfortable to stand up, please. Stretch yourselves out a little. I'd also like to invite you to find somebody nearby you and make some kind of connection. Could be holding hands, could be an arm around their shoulders, could just be looking in their eyes. If you don't know them well, you don't want to be. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy. That's how it goes now. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy. All love now, all love, holy, holy. All love, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is love, holy, holy. 'Cause all God, holy, holy. All God, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. me know all is God. Holy, holy. That's why all is one now. All one, all one. Holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is one. Holy, holy. All good one more time. All good, all good. Holy, holy. Let me hear you sing. All good, all good. Holy, holy. I said all in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good. Holy, holy. I said all in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good. Holy, holy.
Thank you, Dalton. We always love it when you're here. I just so adore
be
you
here.
and what you bring up in our hearts. So don't forget the social hall. Enjoy sharing your virtues with one another and your core values. And then spend time with them all week. All right. Thank you, everyone.